So what are your kind of expectations?
Right, so nothing is edited.
Okay.
All right, so we just let the camera roll and you say what you want to say. So if there's something you think you're going to regret saying, don't say it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cherrywood podcast. It's Simon here.
It's Rachel here.
Please like, share and subscribe.
Hello everyone, Simon here, Rachel. And now we're joined by Andrew from Fleet Evolution.
It's no fun, isn't it?
Well, it is when you can't talk like me. So do you want to tell us about yourself? And you can also say how we met, because you contacted us after watching the Pride in Medway podcast. Is that right?
Is that what it's called? Pride in Medway?
Yes.
Pride in Medway, yeah.
I've seen a few. So it's and that one which stuck the first time I find you was from the solar one.
Oh, right, okay.
Something which I'm just researching for personal reasons and also for our customers.
Right.
But more so for personal reasons, because I kind of sort of waffling about solar now. But yeah, I was looking kind of 15 years ago when 10 years ago when I first got an electric car.
Yeah.
And decided then the payback isn't quite short enough to make it worthwhile for me, because probably be gone in about 5 years.
Yeah.
And just to get an honest update, and one of you guys was on and giving some very honest information.
That's right. He's been on twice actually, Gary, hasn't he?
Yeah. And I think the second time we literally said, okay,
we're gonna ask him
grill him.
We're gonna grill him.
Yeah.
And he did well.
And he
to
did
be honest.
well, yeah.
He did
I
I think
well.
it was the second one I saw.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, if it was in here,
yeah,
it's the second one.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was our old studio, wasn't it? He was in for, and he was a completely different person in the first one. He was messing around, wasn't he? But he came in and we said, right, we're going to not have him mess around. We're going to just ask him straight questions. And he didn't mess around anyway, did he? He was as serious as anything.
And he answered all the questions we had,
He
and
did.
even sort of gave us like a hypothetical quote on our house and how it would be broken down and stuff like that. So it was actually very good.
Yeah,
Very
he got some
interesting.
stick after the first one.
Today's sponsors are Medici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on demediciassociates.com.
Right at Home Medway, providers of safe and trusted quality care for adults in the comfort of their own home. Whether you need companionship, medication assistance, personal care, living care or more, we've got you covered. Visit rightathome.co.uk/Medway or call them on 01634 979 000.
Are you looking for a cleaning or facilities management? Clearwater Kent is your trusted local expert. From roofs and driveway cleaning to fully facilitated management, they're a fully licensed, award-winning business that you can count on. Visit clearwaterkent.co.uk or call 01634 681 885.
Meet James Howard, a personal fitness coach based in Medway. It's about results that last. Visit jameshowardpt.co.uk or find James on Instagram at jameshowardpt to book your first session today.
If you've got a house for life, and it's ideal.
Yes.
If you're thinking about moving, then that's where it's a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it, then, mate.
Yeah, so Andrew Leech, founder of Fleet Evolution. So Fleet Evolution, basically,
Don't know what that was.
are a salary sacrifice electric car company. Our mission, Born Fleet over there, is to save the world one electric car at a time.
Right.
And our weapon of choice, if you like, is an employee benefit scheme called salary sacrifice cars, which allows an employee to take a brand new electric car through their salary, save all the tax, save all the NI. So it basically means if your cost problem goes away, because it's typically about the same cost as keeping a 5-year-old diesel at the end of your drive. So that's the company.
Right, so I'm going to ask you a question which everyone is thinking now. How has the budget messed you guys up?
The budget or the government wider, I don't. It's the inconsistency, and to be fair, it's always been the same for every single government. So we set up in 2010. I set up the company because I was working for a HR specialist in those days, and two things happened. First thing happened. I became aware of electric cars and I became aware of salary sacrifice car schemes, because in those days you could have schemes like this, but only for petrol or diesel. And you could only have them if you're a huge employer,
Right.
employing kind of 2,000 people, something like Kent County Council or something like that. They offer the scheme. But if you were a smaller employer, you couldn't find somebody to work with you. They'd all kind of say, it's too complicated for you. What they really meant is, we've made this whole thing so complicated and so risky, we can't make any margin out of a company size. A second thing happened when I was working for that company. Had kids. So myself and my wife was the head teacher, so she had warned me to be careful on camera.
I'm just naming it all. You sound fine.
She had some. Obviously, she was used to other people's kids, so she hadn't quite decided if that was the right choice for her to kind of look after other people's kids all day at school, and then come home and look after her own. I hadn't wanted kids because I'd always thought, don't have kids unless you can spend time with them.
Yeah.
And I was all over the world, just different countries selling HR software.
I agree with you there.
So needed a career change if we're going to have children. So I'd come across salary sacrifice cards when I was at the HR company because it was a benefit they recommended to their customers, but very few people would have actually taken it. Thought, how can we simplify that and how can potentially I turn that into a business? So launched Fleet Evolution with a simple view of just making it applicable to all companies, whether you've got our smallest customer has 3 employees, a carpet manufacturer in Gloucester Way. Our largest has 8,000, so much bigger operation. And we wanted just to make that scheme really accessible, which we've done. The downside, started business in 2010, so invested a bit of money and took on a couple of people. And then the government didn't really sort out its policy on electric cars until 2019.
Wow.
They initially made some changes in 2015, which were really favourable, which really helped our scheme. Then in 2017, they completely reversed that.
Oh, God.
So U-turns are not anything new or unique to this government.
It's the cost per mile now that's probably annoyed a lot of people. They paid a lot of money for an electric car.
Yeah.
And now they're being charged per mile.
Yeah, and I got an electric car taxi out over here from the train station. And he was saying, which I'd read about but I forgot, that obviously there's no congestion. They have to pay congestion charge now as well.
Oh, do they?
So all of those benefits have gone as well. So
my goodness.
he made the decision to go electric because of no congestion zone, no road charging, these types of things. And definitely in those days, I think this was a 2021 reg, there was a premium price for the electric product.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you look at, I've got an Audi e-tron, which is kind of a Q5 size car.
Okay. And that's fully electric, is it?
That's fully electric. The electric version is 83,000 list price. Obviously, that's before discounts, so you will get some big discounts on something like that. The diesel version is 45. So that's a surcharge in those days. It's changed now. You know, now if you wanted a Vauxhall Astra, you can get an MG4 for the same kind of money if you want to buy one. So by the time you factor in all your savings, if you can charge at home, it's an absolute no-brainer. But in those days, it was really, really expensive. Now, so
the gap is reducing.
The gap's definitely reducing just for somebody going out and buying a car.
Yeah.
Especially if you buy a second-hand one. Give you another example. I've just bought my daughter a 8-year-old Nissan Leaf, which bizarrely was my wife's first car, not the exact same one, but that was the brand she had, or first electric car. And I think I paid about 5,000 for it. A petrol or diesel equivalent would be about 4,000, but we're going to save about £700-800 a year.
Right,
in
okay.
Fuel costs.
That's cheap for a second-hand electric car, isn't it? $5,000.
£5,000 for an 8-year-old one, yeah.
And what's the battery like? Or do they, that's what everyone's going to ask as well, isn't it? What's the battery? Because it's got old. It's 8 years old.
So the thing,
sustainability.
The thing with the electric car market is it's still in its infancy. So the stat which a lot of car dealers and manufacturers will quote is the cost of replacing a motor in an ICE car. When I say ICE, I mean diesel or petrol. So to replace a motor in an ICE car, if you go to the dealer, you're probably going to pay about $12,000.
Yeah, that could be nearly 200,000 miles before you needed to do that, though.
It's typically about 150, but that's talking about going to a dealer. You wouldn't do that. You know, if one of your lovely MR2s outside needs a new motor, you're going to go probably to a recondition expert.
What do you mean, Andrew? They're bulletproof. It's only the engine that survived. Bodywork,
Yeah. So if an amazing thing happened and that engine failed, and the big end went or something, you need to go and get a new engine. You wouldn't get a brand new engine from Toyota. I probably wouldn't have many more or something equivalent. No. You'd go to a scrap merchant or breakers, something like that, and probably get the whole thing for about 1,200 quid, something like that. It's not quite at that stage with electric cars because the market's in its infancy. But using Nissan as an example, if her battery fails, and at the moment it's 100% health, so it's still got 130 miles range on it, which it's got a small
1,000
battery.
miles.
Oh,
It's got 130. Is that all the range of the battery is? 130 miles.
it's an early car. It's a cheaper one,
Right, yeah.
So it's a 40 kilowatt battery. So it's now got 130 miles. I think it started life about 150, something like that.
Right. Okay.
So it's not dropped much. And bear in mind, I bought this car 3 weeks ago, so in winter, and we're probably 3 hours north of you, so the temperature drops about 3 degrees.
Yes, cold weather affects battery life. Yeah.
And our cold weather is proper cold weather than what you guys get down here.
Yeah, there's us with 5 heaters on at the moment.
I mean, short sleeves.
Exactly, yeah.
So completely lost my train of thought. So yeah, for her, if her battery were to go, there's a company now in Gloucester called Cleverly Engineering, and they will replace that Nissan battery for a reconditioned one, which is about 2,300 to put that new battery in.
Okay.
But of course, this market's still in its infancy, so there's not that many companies that will actually do that. That said, the oldest car we've got data on is a Tesla. I'm not a Tesla fan. I'm not a fan.
Oh, you're not?
I don't like Teslas at all.
Right, okay.
I like them as a piece of engineering. I don't like them as a car because, you drive your ML2 because it makes you feel a certain way when you push the pedal. I drive my Audi because it makes me feel a certain way when I push the pedal.
I can't push pedals at the minute. So.
Well, you might be okay at some point with Tesla. The new Tesla, if you want to go forward, you just slide it to forward.
Wow, really? So no pedals?
You have to use a pedal to accelerate. But,
right, okay.
Give it time.
Yeah.
It's almost more like a video game, that particular car, rather than... It's brilliant, obviously, in terms of the industry, because it was one that started the way. And going back to your kind of first question on the government, the next changes they made in 2017 kind of scuppered the electric car market. And then nothing really happened after that until 2019, when they introduced a 0% benefit in kind. So for company car users and for our scheme, it maximised the savings. And that's when electric cars really started to take off, because Elon turned on the supply to the UK. Previously, it was all going to Norway. So there's loads of Teslas coming over, thousands of Teslas, every couple of months, and big, unfortunately, diesel-powered boats still at the moment. So they need to change that. And then other manufacturers kind of kicking and screaming eventually started to invest in electric, because if you want to lower the CO2 of a Blue Motion diesel VW legally, they're very good at doing it illegally, but legally, then you've got to invest billions just to take a couple of CO2 off. Or you can create a line of electric cars. So the ID3, for example, first one kind of golf size, create a line of those and sell those. And that was a catalyst for us and for the business really to grow and for people to really start taking electric cars a bit more seriously. The other thing they did, which was really frustrating for me, and this was the previous lot, was they obviously made a decision that people have to go electric.
Yeah. When is the
that was a 2030, wasn't it?
Was it
2030?
2030.
It's been pushed back now to 2035. And I think it's going to move again because, for me...
But it was new electric, wasn't it?
Yeah. They've reduced the percentage now, so the percentage is going down a sliding scale. But there's two headaches with that. The first headache is, my first car was a £50 Metro, from the back of a paper. And there are still quite a lot of people in inner cities where they can't afford to go out and buy a £2,000 car.
Yeah.
They'll just buy a car, run it for a year. Once it becomes completely unrepairable, they'll get rid of it. And for those people, it's still a real problem. The second problem is those type of people generally tend to live in a terrace house or something like that. They can't charge, not cheaply.
Yeah.
The best thing about electric, apart from the performance, which is, I would say, amazing, is just for cost of motoring and convenience. Because you get home, plug your car in, it's filled up and warm the next day, ready to go when you are. And as we've already said, we're 3 degrees colder than you. So for my wife, that warm is a really important thing. And then you've also got just that ridiculously low cost of charging a car. So for 200 miles, you're talking about £5 to actually run the vehicle. A lot more when you need to charge publicly, but you only do that probably 5-6 times a year.
Yeah.
But people who can't charge at home, they've got nowhere tapping into home electric. So they have to go to a public charge point. They have to walk 5 minutes to go there, or drive 5 minutes to go there and walk home, possibly in the rain. someone might have left cars in there on charge and or even finished charging and they can't charge there. So what we're going to do, if they go to a fast charger, they'll literally for 200 miles pay £45.
Really?
So it's really, really expensive for those guys.
Wow.
So they can't.
You're better off charging it at home.
Yeah, of course.
In theory, electric car for us would be all right because we don't do long mileage.
No.
Yeah.
We don't do long mileage. So we could charge every night, or don't even have to charge every night. But it's very, like, we go to North Devon, but every now and then. We don't, you know, which is the only time we need a charge halfway around or further down type thing.
Yeah, there's loads of charge points for that. So I'm going to France this summer. I'll take my electric car again. Yeah. Going down to the south of France, Antibes, so really easy. We go to Scotland all the time. We discussed before we came in kind of snowboarding and winter sports. And yeah, if we've got a dump in the snow in Scotland, on a Friday, pick my two younger kids up from school, throw snowboards in the back, and we'll be straight up to Glenshee or Glencoe and just go snowboarding up there. Yeah. And it's, yes, you have to stop after about 3 hours for a charge stop. Yeah. But
if you plan it in with a proper McDonald's stop or, you know.
or a wee stop or something.
KFC, you know, have a crap foods available.
Yeah, I'm a 55-year-old bloke, so I'll go for your suggestion, to be honest. So, yeah, right.
I'm a 51-year-old bloke, I'm going to McDonald's.
I'll combine it with something like that, but yeah, very much a wee stop is very much demanded. I'll take them for drive.
Like with everything, they have their pros and cons, and the first thing people mention is obviously the distance, like we said. But I heard something on the internet the other day, a guy say, what if electric cars came out first and they were trying to sell you a diesel or petrol car? And someone would go, what, is the performance better? No, the performance isn't better. What is it? Is it good on the environment? Well, no, it's not good on the environment. Is it? Oh, it must be quiet then. Is it quieter? No, it's not quieter. Well, then what's good about it? It goes further.
Yeah.
And
in theory, that when you look at it that way, you can get it.
Yeah.
That's a really good start, a really good way of describing it.
Yeah. It just goes further. A diesel one goes further. But because we're this way around, this is what we're stuck with. But, you know, there is the usual power stations, what they filled with, mainly, you know. They're filled with diesel or oil or whatever, you know.
And like you said, the boats bring them over, diesel fuel boats, right?
I know, you know, the capitals are getting clearer of air, but that factory's knocking out a bit. There's probably nowhere near the equivalent of the car emissions, you know. So you're not taking the same amount of emissions and put them in that chimney of that factory. I might be wrong, but I don't think you are. You know what I mean? So am I making sense?
Yeah.
So, but, you know, we are just moving a problem along somewhere else. Lithium mining as well.
Well, so let's take first of all electricity. So it's different for different countries in the world, obviously. We are quite progressive, and whether people love it or hate it, which some people are very vocal about hating it, half our energy now is produced from renewables. So we're getting there. You know, it's not perfect, but half our energy is produced from renewables. We did do a survey with Aston University, and it was it showed for an electric car, CO2 from production and running is about 70 grams per kilometre driven, as opposed to petrol and diesel, which is about 180. Now, obviously, this was done in connection with graduates who were researching renewable energy, so there is a degree of bias. They're taking research from us, so there is a degree of bias. But yeah, there's two arguments made about energy. First one is it's not very renewable, and I think the second one I heard one of the guys on one of your podcasts talking about the grid. I think you mentioned blackouts.
Yeah, blackouts with the solar panels. We mentioned that with Gary, didn't we? And how, you know, how it would then go back to the grid and stuff like that, and you're paying the grid then. And
like there's con men in every field, and there's con men in when it comes to solar panels. Yeah. So you could have 100 solar panels set up. If one gets damaged, none of them will work. Yeah. Simple as that, because they all need inverters on them. Yeah. For them to work individually.
But the point I was going to make, is just... we'll get round to the points. So first point is a lot of people say that the grid can't cope.
Yeah. Sorry, I hadn't finished either yet. And you need to help, you need a battery in your house. So a lot of people just go direct from the sun to the power in their house and then feeding back the grid, which... Yeah, all right, that happens, that works. But like you say, there's an outage at the main power plant, and you're knackered. But if you've all got a battery, then there's a majority of you it can last maybe half a day, depending on your battery sizes, you know. Gary also is keen to sell the fact that if you don't have solar panels, have batteries, charge them up at night, and do that as well. But once again, it's the expense, isn't it? But by the sounds of talking to Gary, it's very similar to the car. The expense is starting to come down. Yeah. As with all new things, all new technology, it's through the roof at first, and it gradually comes down. But me being an engineer, I work out exactly how much it's going to cost. How long will it last for? So is it dead before I finish paying it off? You know, do I need to replace it before I have to
pay off? Before
it's paid off my debt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
see what I mean?
My Audi has done 110,000 miles to do a lot of mileage, and it's still showing the range isn't great. Manufacturers lie. You know, this is at VW Audi. VW Audi. I did get in trouble with our marketing team once for saying this, and I asked them to stop lying.
But it's facts.
Well, VW Audi have always been lying dirty toe rags about range. So in the old days, it was miles per gallon. So I think I had a Audi A6, and it was supposed to be 60 miles per gallon. I wasn't driving it like an idiot. I was getting 40. Everybody else gets 40. Now it's electric vehicle range. So a lot of people like Kia, Hyundai, they're pretty honest. People like Audi, VW Group, they tend to exaggerate everything by a third. Yes, they will say it's official testing results, but they've got to know it's unrealistic.
Yeah, but they do it on prime sort of setup.
Perfect conditions.
With tyres that are frictionless tyres, that type of thing. Yeah.
I think it's changed a bit, but it's still not got better. They used to be able to take the wing mirrors off and God knows what else, didn't they?
Really?
Move the brake pads off. Those days have gone, but they're still not exactly completely legit. So mine still does about 195 miles range, which for me is absolutely fine. If I'm coming somewhere like this from the Midlands where we're based, then if I was driving today, I would have to stop for a charge stop.
Sorry, and what did they say? 250?
280.
Really?
So you've got to be wary of that. But actually, my car, like I say, is about 4 years old now. And yet it's lost just a couple of miles off its total range. Yeah. It's never had a service more expensive than, I think, £170 has been the most expensive service. And it's still going almost like it was new, apart from all the mud from my son and daughter's hobbies and everything else kind of in there. In fact, I've noticed got a bit of mud on my shoes as well.
Don't worry. We'll just talk about you when you leave.
So what limits can you push the battery to then? You know, if you were going to, because I know...
I was going to ask the AC heater question. Does that bring the mileage down?
It does, but not dramatically, about 2 miles.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Okay. So if you had if you had your full charge and you did your 180 miles, you reckon you do 178 that whole distance?
Probably 176.
Right, okay.
Depending, of course, how cold it is outside and how hot you got your battery. It does, again, depend on the type of vehicle.
Yeah.
So if you've got a better made electric car, it'll be a very, very minimal change. If you've got, in some cases, I'm digressing. If we look at the efficiency of batteries in the cold, my car will lose about 5 miles if it's really cold outside.
Okay.
There are some cheaper made cars where you'll lose 20, 30 miles off the range if it's cold outside. But yeah, energy wise, I mean, I always say to people that I never put my car into eco mode. It's always in off-road or sports mode. I always have the heating on. You hear stories of people kind of just putting gloves on and all this kind of stuff, driving really just in quite a, obviously rewarding way for them, but quite miserly to me, just to try and get their 5 kilowatts 5 miles per kilowatt out of it. That's not fun. You've got two fun cars outside. I have electric cars.
You know, Ant and Deck is so tight that he doesn't put his AC on.
Really?
And how well off is he? Ant always used to slag him off. He never puts his AC on. Yeah.
No.
So people are people. That's just the way it is, you know.
Because I know with mine. I mean, well, not at the moment, but I push my limit, don't I, with regards to petrol. So I
uses the bottom dregs all the time. Yeah, all the time.
I would literally drain my whole tank, and then it will get to a point in our car, it goes down to 30 miles an hour. Like the petrol light comes on at 60, and it says, right, you've got 60 miles to fill up. absolutely fine. I get down to 30 and it doesn't have any mileage. It just goes to 2 lines. And it's like, you need to fill up now.
We have 2 identical cars, right? And hers at the bottom of obviously when she's got it, it's bobbling and farting around. And she doesn't know, but it is. And then when I fill it up fully, when I'm driving it, like now where she can't drive for
I pay for it still, though. Can I just say that?
But you say put £30 in here, righto, fill it all the way up. Why put £30 in? There is a method to your madness, but it's not one you've used. The extra weight does make it less efficient, and filling it halfway each time would be more efficient in the long run. But we're not talking much. I'll give you an extra tenner a year if it helps.
But what is if I was to do that on a battery car? How what is my range? If it says 10% battery life, how much do I know? What distance would that give me?
So our friend Demola's got a Tesla. And he's like, there's bound to be an extra percentage on this. And there wasn't.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get out of his car.
Oh, really? So it's shut down completely?
Yeah, because what Tesla windows do is they go eek before you open it. Yeah. And he had no battery whatsoever. When he opened it, he cracked both doors.
I think they've got over that problem, but what I would, because I think they've got a separate 12 volt now to
do that.
Right. But what I would say is just, you can't have that mentality of electric.
Right, okay.
You just can't. I do understand totally what you mean. I've run out of fuel. I never ran out of electric. I've run out of fuel twice.
Oh, see, I haven't.
Once when it was, I was going to Heathrow Airport and on my sat-nav, I thought it'd be absolutely fine. I've got 20 miles left, but the garage I went to fill up at had closed down. Probably like 5.
No.
It was a company car for an old company. It was a Cadillac, believe it or not. And it was obviously American sat-nav in there and obviously American first. So it was drinking it. Luckily I got free fuel, but it was like 13 miles per gallon or something. And yeah, when I got there, it was closed. And then I ran out. And of course, that was a headache. I had to go to a petrol station, which I think was 20 minutes walk away, buy a jerry can, fill it up, walk back to the car, fill it up, ruin my life for about an hour. Yeah. That was what it took. Electric cars, I've never ran out of electric cars. So the second time I ran out of petrol was when petrol prices first went above £1 a litre.
Yeah.
And they were blockading the refinery.
It was the 80p. It went above 80p. We're talking about 2001. Do you remember?
Yeah, that kind of time, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I always remember it by cars in an Audi A3. It was S3 at the time. And I remember driving. I got 5 miles on the range when I got there. And when I got there, I couldn't go in. And by the time I'd actually stopped idling, yeah, that was it. I'd run.
Oh, to be back to 80p, eh?
We'd welcome 80p now, wouldn't we? You'd have queues. If Asda up the road did it, there would be queues a mile long just to get your petrol.
If your electric car, and the closest I've got to it was I was in an MG ZS, which we've taken to customers, and I was coming up the motorway, and originally I thought I'd have enough mileage to get to the NEC. There was a huge charging hub, about 150 charge points. Sorry, I keep touching that.
That's all right. Not enough for you to get carded. We give cards out, basically.
Right, okay.
You get mic 1, mic 2, mic 3. And then mic 3, on mic 3, you've got to show us the last message on your phone.
It wouldn't be exciting. You'd have to be one about girls' football coaching. But so I literally... in the end, I needed to stop at Junction 3 so earlier because it was just getting too close. And as I was just coasting towards it, the electricity went. But luckily, it just allowed me to carry on coasting.
Right.
Just to it. But yeah, if you imagine in that scenario, you've either got to find a very kind person on the road you parked with the world's longest extension lead. Yeah. Which will charge you off a 3-pin plug. You'll get about 8 miles for every hour you're there. So
8 miles for every hour? Is that all it is?
Off a 3-pin plug. So this is an emergency situation. For example, I know we used the 3-pin plug when we went to Isle of Skye a couple of years ago. We were at an Airbnb. Messaged the guy, said, do you mind if I pay an extra tenner if we just shoot?
Can you do what phones do? Can you lay like the roof of a car on top of another roof? And charge. But could you charge? They should put that in, shouldn't they? Where you can say, well, I've got 200 miles. I'll give you 10 miles.
You can.
There's losses there, I know.
With sort of stuff like the Kia and stuff like that, you can do that. So you can actually, you've got an adapter, but again, it'd be really slow. You've got an adapter where you can power a 3-pin device. So I know we've done some videos where we've taken the cars on a frosty day to the woods behind our office, and we've done like a little grill and bacon sandwiches and stuff like that, just to show people the adaptability of it. But you're still talking, you get 8 miles for every hour you plug in. So So yeah, if you do that, you've got to call that recovery. Most recovery trucks now will have a generator on. They'll give you a slow boost for 20 miles, which will take about an hour, and then you've got to go off and find somewhere. So yeah, you just need to
start the old diesel engine, don't they?
Yeah. Well, my wife does it all the time. She goes out and she's like, Andy, the car's not charged. Like, did you plug it in? No. I said, okay, well, that's why it's not charged. Wireless charging does exist in other parts of the world. So I think in Norway they've got parts of the world which are wireless charging, but it's not scalable yet.
How does that work then? Wireless charging?
Same as your phone.
Like a pad or something that you put it.
Well, you're driving over the road.
Over things.
Yeah.
They were going to do it with Anki Overdrive. Our son has got a modern Scalextric.
Oh, wicked.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's really clever. There's scanners underneath the cars and it reads the road. The road looks black, but if you look through the black, it's got some sort of track on it.
Yeah.
And you do this with your phone and it turns. It's amazing. And me and him play it all the time.
There's no line. You don't put the car on a line. You can put it anywhere on the track and it will find your...
The company didn't get enough traction.
Yeah.
Sold it to another company who didn't do anything with it. But what that other company promised is that they would put this little thing that is, rather than charging the cars on a USB, they promised you'd put this little clip underneath each car and it will have similar thing. And every time it drove over something, it will keep it going. So you could just keep racing and racing forever. So I imagine it's something similar to that.
Well, like under motorways and stuff like that. Like
under cars.
I'm not sure whether you could do it under motorways. I don't know enough about this, to be honest.
Yeah.
But certainly I think this was kind of when buses are parked up.
Right, they can charge.
Because the amount of voltage you need...
It's immense.
It would just destroy the road if you were trying to get that quick charge.
Yeah.
You know, there's some chargers like 350 kilowatts per hour, which is just absolutely huge. Which is why fast charging on the motorways is quite expensive, because to put in the infrastructure is really expensive there.
So if you had a fast charger at home, which some people do in our road, have a fast charger at home, or use 3 phases.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A 3-phase charger.
Oh, this gets even more complicated. Yeah, sure.
Right. That's a lot quicker, but does it cost more?
It's not obviously a lot quicker.
Really?
Yeah, so once you're used to electric cars and you're used to that changing mentality and changing the way you drive, they're absolutely brilliant. And I think over 90% of people we survey say they'll never go back. Sometimes people do go back just because maybe they've decided to take up caravanning or something like this. If you want to take a caravan to Surf of France, electric cars won't really do it for you. It halves the range. You can have real problems.
Right, okay.
Can I ask, what are those VW campers like, those electric ones?
They're quite nice. We're still waiting for proper campers. At the moment, you can buy one.
It's just a van, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, but it's got the VW badge on the front and it's got obviously nostalgia factor.
Oh, no, it looks nice, but at the moment, are there camper versions or is it just an empty van?
You have to get it done yourself.
Just an empty van, right. Yeah.
So there are companies that will do it. They were saying they're going to bring out the camper version last year.
And they haven't.
They've still not finalised it. And I am absolutely there with you that, when they do that, I think that, well, I don't know if you're there or not, but I would absolutely go there.
What's the range like on them? Sorry to keep jumping in and asking you
that's fine.
What's
your
the range?
Podcast, feel free.
But I'm really good at jumping in.
Simon's very good at forgetting what he was going to ask and then go, I need to get this out now.
Yeah, if I don't get it out, it's gone.
Yeah.
So what is the range on one of those?
About 250.
Right, okay.
About 250, so it's okay, and they charge pretty quick. Yeah.
Right.
It's,
okay.
I'd quite like one. I'd quite like to buy one through the company and kind of deliver it all up and have it there to take to launches. So when we take on a new customer, we take down some products so people can just sit in and sometimes drive the electric product just to show them. It's just like a normal car, service, but better.
So in theory, that's 250. You take it to a fast charger, it's going to cost you 40 quid. Yeah. That is when it's
40 to 50.
That's when it's more expensive than diesel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that is crazy, really.
Yeah, well, yes and no.
Yeah, I was just about to say yes and no because actually
we knock out 300. We knock out 380. No, we're 420 miles to a full tank of diesel in our cars.
Yeah, we can do probably about
which
half,
is 60,
maybe.
about 65 quid.
So your cars are small compared to an
not the MR2s.
bus.
I'm not talking about the MR2s.
Oh right, okay.
No, I'm talking. We got Samyang Tivalis, which can hold 5 grown adults very well.
Yeah.
We've got exactly the same cars. So we've got 2 MR2s and 2 Samyang Tivalis.
So you go to the maths then and think, well, actually, again, providing you can charge at home, you're charging at home for £5-7.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And you're going to do that 330 days of the year.
And then you're going to have a long journey.
And then 30 days of the year, you're going to have that long journey. And actually, quite often...
No, you've got a point.
Quite often, you might find... So whenever I go down to Dorset, it's probably the same distance from me as it is from you guys. I always just go on to Expedia or hotels.com or something like that. I mean, other brands are available if you can't deal with anybody, but go on to one of those. And then they've got a little tick box. Find a hotel with charging. You just tick that box and it'll find your hotel with charging. 5 years ago, it used to be brilliant. So I remember going to Fistral Beach. There was a hotel just overlooking Fistral Beach called the Esplanade, and they used to allow you to charge for free. Those days have gone now, but it's still like literally you'll pay about £10 for
So hotel charging's cheaper because it's just a slow charge.
Because it's a slow charger. Yeah, that's
right.
Supermarket charging is cheaper.
Right?
Yeah, supermarket charging is cheaper as well because again, it's just a slow charger when you go to cinema or something like that. So you've got your home chargers. Your home chargers will generally give you 20 miles for every hour you plug in.
Okay.
They're 7 kilowatt. So you need to become a bit of a mathematician. If your car is 60 kilowatt, which most of them are, it's going to take you about 9 hours to 8, 9 hours.
It's an overnight thing, end of the day thing, isn't it? Plug it in.
So you're getting it at night.
Unless there's an emergency and you drive off and it's still plugged in.
But there is a lot of misinformation.
Right.
So, for example, my car can charge pretty quick. My car can charge 150 kilowatts per hour.
Right.
Obviously up. So I'll pull up at a charger for a big fast charger for maybe 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much full.
Okay.
It's a weird one. You charge to 80%, and then the best thing to do is carry on your road trip if you're doing a road trip, because actually, a bit like your iPhone...
Yeah, bear with me. I've just got to keep going. Keep talking right.
A bit like your iPhone, it will basically just slow down when it gets above 80% to preserve the battery.
And then you put it in like a safety mode or something. Yeah, of course.
But if I took my wife's car, she's got an Enyaq, to the exact same charger, she would get just 50 kilowatts. That's the maximum rate her car can charge at.
Oh, right.
So again, a lot of manufacturers will shout and they will say, oh, this car can go from 0 to 0% to 80% in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And it can, but not all cars can do that on a really fast charge point.
Yeah.
And not all fast chargers are the same.
Yeah, of course.
So there's an app which shows you some fast chargers only charge at 50 kilowatts.
Right.
Some will charge at 350 kilowatts.
Yeah.
So it takes a bit of getting used to. Mm-hmm. Like I say, you do have an app where you can search it all, but it's a different way of working, isn't it? And a bit like when petrol and diesel came out and people moved. Electric cars used to be around then, believe it or not. Mainly for Royal Mail and things like that, or wherever the Victorian version of Royal Mail was.
Yeah.
Was it still with Royal Mail? I don't know.
Has it always been Royal Mail?
What's that?
We're going back to the first electric cars, which were literally like electric replaced steam. It was before that. It was back in the Victorian era. Mm-hmm. And then bizarrely, so if you're ever really, really bored and sad like me, Google something called the EV1.
Okay.
Bizarrely, in the 1980s in California, General Motors released an electric car.
Yeah.
And it looks a bit like the Tesla does now. So it looked quite sleek, quite aerodynamic. And it was only available on lease.
Yeah.
It was really successful. It had 200 miles range. People charged it at home.
Wow.
People loved it. For reasons people don't know, but I do think it's the kind of the energy lobby in terms of petrol and diesel. It was just mothballed and scrapped. They have the vehicles back. Now, when you ever hear of a dealer or a manufacturer not letting you rehire a car, which you want to, people wanted to rehire them, they wanted to buy them, but General Motors wouldn't let them.
Wow.
And they all went basically into California deserts and just ended up just turning to dust. So, there was a electric revolution back in the 80s. Like I say, if you look at EV1, it's a really weird rabbit hole to go down if you're just doing a long road trip or something.
Is that why the BMW is called EV1?
They've been to
was it AV? AI?
iX1.
iX1.
Yeah.
I love that BMW. That's not full electric, is it? Or is it?
Yes.
Is it?
The iX is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the iX
it's a beautiful
and the
looking
X1, X2 and X3.
beautiful looking car.
Yeah.
So what would you say was the best electric car based on everything? Range, price, I don't know, quality, build?
Probably the Kia EV6.
Right.
But for a general person, because the range is pretty much accurate. So we're based 280 miles away from Glasgow. My sales manager had one. I stole hers and borrowed hers for a launch. Drove up there, and it did it without needing to stop for a recharge. And then went to one of our customers who got charging there, so it was absolutely perfect. And it was really good performance. I looked 16.5 seconds, so all the fun you want.
Yeah.
Mine's quicker, but there are really, really good rules. Really, really comfortable. Loads of room, and it's a coupe style, so just looks really, really good as well. Depending on what you're looking for. I mean, for me, I've got 3 teenage kids. I need something that can tow, because my daughters have got horses. I need something that will go off road, because I spend a lot of my time in muddy fields and stuff like this. So for me, I've got a different option. And obviously, if you're just after a cheap city car, then something like a Citroen C3, it's just under 20 grand for that car to buy. Or for a scheme like ours, it's kind of £200 a month. So something like that for people. It's a really easy way of getting into electric. And I think the range on that real world range is about 180, but that's all people need, generally. 4 miles than that, apart from, I would say, maybe 5 times a year.
So why don't you like Teslas? I've got a friend that's got 2 electric cars. One's a Tesla. I'm trying to think what the other one is, but I think it's an American brand. I can't remember what it is. And he says the Tesla wins hands down nearly every time.
That's the beautiful thing, I guess, about electric cars now, that you can make a decision based on the heart. Rather than, I had a Tesla in 2014, so that was a decision of the head. I did a lot of miles. It was free charging, so the network was completely free. So it was just a no-brainer for me. And in those days, that was the only real car you could have if you needed to do loads of miles. Yeah. Because they had nailed the infrastructure, whereas the rest of the brands were just trying to catch up. Yeah. Very different now, I'd say. It's the infrastructure is generally very good, providing you do a tiny amount of prep and know what you're doing. And if you're like me, you don't need to even do any prep because you kind of instinctively know how they all are. But the Tesla for me is just, you've got to understand me, Simon, you've got an MRT, you've got a driver's car. A Tesla is a piece of tech.
I don't think they look particularly great.
They look bland. Yeah, they look bland. It's just a piece of tech. You get in. You've got tons of space, which lots of people like. I remember we took one to a launch once, and my daughter loved it because you can change the horn. Sound like an ice cream van.
You can make it dance. I know it dance.
Yeah, you can do that. So I changed the horn to be like an ice cream van. And I came back home, brought it back home, so I borrowed it for a few days, and I got ice creams in the back and did the ice cream. Excellent. And the kids all came running out, and we were really disappointed because we're in the middle of the countryside, so we never see ice cream vans. And then I was like, go in the boot, and got a boot full of ice creams. So for them, they were sold. But in terms of, and actually they quite like the car generally, I think, that one, the Model Y. Yeah. So quite a big car. Yeah. But to me, as a driver, it just feels too sterile. It's just not. It's just not an emotional experience, and silly things like which are probably great in California, but over here we get a fair bit of rain sometimes. Yeah. I think they've changed with some of the newer models, to be fair, but the 2020s when it first started becoming mainstream, you have to open it with your card, which when you've got a wet, slippy hand is quite difficult to grip, and then get in it, and you have to activate the wipers from your touchscreen here. With wet fingers and wet hands and stuff.
I see.
Just and the new one, I think I was saying earlier.
You just have to be near it with your phone now, I believe.
But the new one, to move it into drive or reverse, there's no key, there's no stalk. You have to just do it on the dashboard. No. It's just a bit too
techy. Yeah. I just look at it and think technology goes wrong all the time.
Yes.
And if you're driving in the middle of nowhere, I mean, I know people that have had brands of cars. I was going to say
Discoveries. Yeah. I'm not bothered in saying this. The most unreliable cars around.
And it was
Land Rover. The beautiful looking, most unreliable car around. And I've got a friend that's got an electric one. He's had no end of trouble with that either. But they've got something like 53 processors in them, them Discoveries.
I think my parents got it home, put it on the drive, brand new, bought it from the garage, put it on the drive, and something had happened to one of the computers which drained the whole system, and the alarm kept going off all night. Yeah. And they said it was horrendous.
Everyone I know has had trouble with them. Every person I know.
And then they had to put it back in the garage on day 2. And they were like, this isn't a good sign.
There are some silly things, like I've just been bigging up Kia. When Kia bought out the first Nero, which was a really good kind of family car, they put really cheap 12-volt batteries in the back.
Right.
So if you didn't use it for a couple of weeks, left it at the airport or something like that, you come back, your battery will be drained.
Right.
You're dead. You can't actually move a car, you can't do anything, which is totally bizarre when you think you're plugging in the actual car to charge it. You've got this huge battery pack here, but the 12 volts...
The one that just does the general sort of power.
Yeah.
So what's keeping that charged? The other battery when it's running? Or the motion of the car is keeping that 12-volt going?
It's the motion
before
of the car.
It used to be the engine powering up the alternator. And
It is the motion of the car which actually charges it back up.
Right,
but of course,
okay.
if you're not moving the car, again, they are overcoming this challenge because it still is really in its infancy. It's not, and to be honest, from a reliability perspective, they fare pretty well compared to petrol and diesel. When they do go wrong, sometimes, instead of having to have it towed to the dealer, I remember I had a Jaguar I-Pace, and it went wrong once. There's a fault code on it. So again, Jaguar Land Rover. But literally, I just called up recovery. They came out. They connected the laptop to it. No spanners in sight. And about half an hour later, it was like, yeah, cleared it all off. That's all there.
See, this is a problem, isn't it? And you're a similar age to me. So I had a Spectrum. Did you have a ZX Spectrum?
There was a ZX Spectrum.
Did you? Not a Commodore boy?
No, I wasn't posh enough for a Commodore.
You buy a ZX Spectrum game, you put it in, it plays. You don't then have to see it. They're either crap or not, wouldn't they, some of them? And there's no update. But now what people, especially game companies, I know I'm jumping here, but especially game companies, they send you a game, they give you a game, release it as quick as possible, have loads of faults on it,
and
then a massive update, and then again there's another update, and then there's another update, sorted this issue out, sorted that issue out.
Well, it's like
I
your
worry
iPhones.
that's going to happen with cars, especially the software of cars. I'm sure there's updates that go on.
Yeah.
But, once upon a time, I used to make something and make sure it's working perfectly the first time. I know you can improve everything, so I am being a bit out of order by saying it. But I do worry that they try and push things out when it's involving a processor or memory too quick, and then worry about, we'll let the customer find the fault. Because that's basically what happens with games. Customers will report a fault, and then they go, right, we'll make a note of that. And I have it with software, editing software, all the time. And it just drives you insane that you buy. I've bought editing software before, not mainstream stuff, but I bought crap stuff before, and it's not worked from day one. It's been terrible from day one. And then you wait 6 months for an update.
So
that's my rant over. Okay, go, keep going now.
That's fine. So I'll explain exactly what side of the fence I'm on with that. Just by an example from yesterday. I woke up and my iPhone had updated. And the first word I thought, I won't say live, but it was a swear word. Because I used to sell software. I used to run a software company years ago. And I never, ever, ever go to the latest version. I always keep one version behind.
Yeah.
Because, I think people do treat their customers as their testing team.
Definitely. Yeah. We're definitely the guinea pigs. 100%. Yeah.
They all have testing teams, but they don't really do a lot. Well, they test it, I guess, in the way they've developed it rather than in the way people actually use it.
Yeah.
And I do agree that is a problem, but I think it's equally a problem for ICE vehicles, isn't it? It's exactly the same for both now. So unless you've got something, old school where you can just mess around with a spanner.
Yes. And I have another concern, like iPads and iPhones. More iPads than anything. You get to a certain age of an iPad, they stop updating it. Yeah. That's going to happen with cars.
Yeah. I think
where you're forced to have to get another one.
So I was quite pleased with my daughter's because when I bought it, it got all these features on there, which I thought would help her. Which basically take away all the difficulty in driving. I gave her a lesson the other day, and I was trying to show her how to reverse the car, reverse park. And she was like, "Yeah, but Dad, I've got that down there." And she showed me the lines. Yeah, but you might not always have that.
Makes you look behind though.
Well, she said, I'll just pretend I'm not looking at it. And or about when you go and take a holiday car or something. But anyway.
And that's the other thing. There's no gears now either. So will she not have a gear license?
Well, this is one of those interesting things, isn't it? What will our kids do?
There's no gears on
electric
cars, no?
Why do you want?
Not?
No. Rach, it won't even change. It doesn't even have an automatic gearbox. It just goes from 0 to 100%. Doesn't it? It doesn't have a gearbox. It doesn't have nothing.
Sorry, I'm being really
dumb. It's not
dumb.
switching cogs. It's just basically one whatever the word is.
Of course, you wouldn't
spindle.
need it.
It's not the word, but let's go with that.
If you're converting a car, I've seen a converted MR2 before.
What, into electric?
Yeah, but they keep the gearbox, they keep everything, and they plumb in an electric motor where the engine was, so it still goes into which is the most inefficient way to do it. It really is. It can be done, but no, electric cars are just like, bang, motors on the wheels, off.
In theory, there's a trial going on at the moment in, I can't remember what part of London, but they are testing driverless cars.
We've been in them.
One.
Oh, you've been in them?
We've been to Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And we purposely booked an Uber that we didn't need. Yeah. But we booked an Uber and then on Uber, you can flick a switch to say you're happy for there to be a driverless car. You can't choose one.
Yeah.
You just say you're happy for it to be driverless. And it happened to be a Sunday, and these driverless cars were everywhere. I said, this is our chance. So we switched it over, didn't we? Did it?
Yep.
Driverless car turned up.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Yeah. And it was a Jaguar turned up. And it had spinning radars all over it. Like
Cameras everywhere.
Was it onto both back corners?
I think there was one on top, and I think it was...
One under each wing mirror.
Yep.
And then one at the rear, one on top, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And no problems whatsoever. Honestly, it was no problem at all. It even seemed to get annoyed with someone just loitering in the middle of the road.
So it was like...
It was like, this car was sort of off, not in the parking area, but in the middle of the road. And the road did have...
Several lanes.
I would say, no, it had 2.5 lanes, would you say?
Yeah.
It was a wide road, but a two-way road, but it was quite wide. So it stood there and waited for it. And as if it had gone, oh, bollocks, and went round it. Did it fast, as if it got annoyed with it.
Got proper annoyed.
Yeah.
But they're saying the only issue is, again, like you said, if it rains, they have real trouble stopping the vehicle. You have to almost...
You have to phone up the help desk.
And say, I need the vehicle to stop.
The vehicle would just keep going round and round in circles because it just cannot work out how to stop there in the rain. It can't work it out. So the radars ain't working perfectly.
The sensors and
all this
like
stuff
that,
gets obviously updated.
But it never rains here, so it's perfect for him.
Yeah.
Well,
as opposed to
what
Texas.
happens in Texas is it's really hot and then all of a sudden you'll get a massive downpour, you know. The other thing is half roads. So you'll get 6.5 street. It struggles with them. But that's just an upgrade, isn't it? Yeah. It's just an upgrade.
Yeah, that's maps more than anything, isn't it?
But
at some point in theory, even with like in the state it is now, you could just jump in and just...
The other thing
I was going to say drive, but then you wouldn't be driving, would you?
Do you know what I thought of as well? I thought you could be asleep at night and you could tick a box on your phone and it could take it away in the middle of the night by itself and go and have a service. Come back ready with the service done.
Yeah, because we did see the other technology they had out there was a delivery service, like food delivery, like a Just Eat.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like a Just Eat was a little tiny... I'm only going to call it a robot because that's what it was. A robot on wheels.
A little R2-D2. It was made cute. It had a front screen with eyes that blinked. So I think the cuter it is, the less people are going to kick the crap out of it.
Maybe in America.
Yeah. So the thing is, I reckon... They were at a point where they wasn't even looking at it. Yeah. So we filmed it down a road and it was crossing a street with pedestrians and they didn't even look at it.
They like waited at the lights.
I think Milton Keynes is similar.
Milton Keynes have got it,
Milton Keynes have got it in the post. They don't have it in Uber, do they? I think it's just their post office, I believe.
Right.
I think you can get groceries from it.
Oh, really? They may have changed, but Milton Keynes have had it for a long time now.
But yeah, it was just the technology of actually, you put something in it, send it off, it gets to someone's door, and then it's that technology as well.
It's full of cameras, though. So if you vandalise it, you're done anyway, aren't you? So, yeah. It's very clever.
I suppose Texas don't shoot it.
Yeah, Austin doesn't.
You're not allowed to.
You have guns in Austin, but you're not allowed to have your gun on you or out. What's that word?
You're not allowed to holster your gun?
No, holstering is a good thing.
No, you're not allowed to. What is that word? Oh my gosh.
You can carry, but it has to be concealed, doesn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah, you're not allowed it on show, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Word as well. I remember going to Austin for work.
Right.
And I remember we were at a place called Grapevine.
All right.
Right.
Not far away from Dallas, tiny place.
Right.
I remember going to a bar and it had got a sign out, they got a poker tournament on. And me and my friend had gone there, we thought, poker tournament, that'll be fun, let's go. And we got a sign outside saying no unlicensed firearms inside. So obviously you can go with licensed firearms. Yeah. So we kind of thought, we won't take part in that tournament, to be honest. We kind of just scuppered off and just went somewhere else. It's just like, are you sure you want to make that bet, boy? And no, I think I'll
one
fold.
thing I didn't have there was road rage.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm sorry.
What do you find are the biggest misconceptions trying to get businesses to come with you, into your business, to go into the greener scheme?
To go electric?
Yeah.
So the first one is, again...
What?
Simple question. You made it sound so hard.
Oh, no,
sorry. I have to abuse her at least once.
It's Joy's being married. I know exactly how you feel. And plus you can't throw frying pans at the moment. Not quickly anyway. So.
I can't run away. So.
It's just that fear that people are so nervous about the technology, and it's the fact that as soon as you say to somebody, here's an electric car, have it, they seem to think they drive from Land's End to John O'Groats.
Do you think that's the older generation as well? Do you find more people from the older generation sort of don't want to?
we actually find the older generation tends to be a bit more open to it. The younger generation, they're
It's probably more petrol heads than anything against it.
It is petrol heads. I remember my nephew when I went down an electric car, and he said, "Yeah, it's electric, but they're just slow, aren't they?"
Blimey, no, they're not slow.
And I took him for a spin in mine, and he changed his mind quite quickly. They were right by the motorway, so I could kind of do it properly. And he changed his mind quite quickly, but there's so much, not so much now, it's changed over the last 2 years, but there's so much misinformation from the kind of the Telegraph, these types of things. It's not helped, to be honest, by the media, because I remember one of the very first stories I saw of someone taking a car for a drive, I think it was Top Gear. So I love Top Gear, but they weren't exactly particularly pro EV.
No, because they're a muscle car type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember they decided to give someone who'd never had an electric car before, a Leaf, to go from London, from our studios, as it were then, up to Scotland. And guess what happened? It ended in an absolute disaster. Yeah. Because it would do. But with a modicum of just information and preparation, if they'd said to me, "Can you plan their route?" There doesn't be no drama whatsoever. Just off the top of my head, it's not difficult.
It's not difficult, but it's something you don't have to do if you've got a petrol or diesel, is it?
Yeah, but
it's an extra task that you sort of got to do. You could jump in a car and head north. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It is, but something.
But it's going to grow. You're going to get more charging places now. As time goes on, there'll be more options to stop and charge right now.
It does. I mean, your driverless car in Texas got really annoyed at someone just kind of faffing in front of them. And I get that. It's hilarious if I did. I got really annoyed a couple of years ago. My car was hit by a tractor, and that annoyed me to start with. But then Enterprise and my insurance company gave me a diesel Range Rover, which annoyed me again because I don't like diesels. But what really annoyed me was when I had to take it back. So I had to go to a petrol station. First of all, I had to find one. Not been to a petrol station for years.
Fill it up.
Then fill it up. And literally, but waiting to fill it up, there's people in front of me that seem to be doing their week's worth of shopping for the Christmas shop in this Tesco Express connected to the petrol station.
Yeah.
And then, just go in, come back out, just all that faff, which is something which I got completely irrationally frustrated and almost rage about. Just all that faff and just hanging around for people, because I don't need to do it. I just unplug my car and drive, go. I'm done. I don't need to divert because I do live in the countryside, via a petrol station, because we don't have many by us. It's just all so easy, a bit like, you're going to tell me it's really close now. How close is your nearest petrol station?
Oh, we've got one.
End of the road.
It's a bad example.
Not even a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
100 metres down there and 100 metres up there.
Mine's like 5 miles away.
Oh, right.
So just by St George's Park, on that neck of the woods.
Right.
So to drive there, and then of course you want to go out early, they're closed, or they show up late and they're closed. So I have as someone who's been electric for so long, I have a different set of frustrations when I have to go back to it. I used to have before I bought a car that could tow, I used to have a diesel horse trailer, horse box. And I remember going to Phil Varro, I used to hate it, just absolutely hate it, just so much frustration to me. So it's just different things, isn't it? Different perspectives.
Yeah. See, now, I've never been against electric cars at all, and I was even considering our next car being an electric car. But it does pee me off what they did in the budget by adding cost per mile. What is that per mile? I can't remember.
3p.
Yeah, and I know it don't sound like much, but it's the principle of it, of getting you all on board with the electric car thing, and then going, now we're going to do this to you.
Yeah.
And of course, they did it years ago with diesels, didn't they?
It's road tax, wasn't it?
Well, diesel.
They do it by putting the petrol up and down, but...
I remember said to everybody, buy a diesel, save the world. And then, of course, now it's like diesels.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
but it didn't... Yeah, but I suppose they did put a charge in it, didn't they? Well, no, they didn't, did they? Yeah, all right, they lied to you and said diesel was good.
They did for company car drivers. They put a 3% extra tax on it for company car drivers.
But it's every driver of an electric car, isn't it, then?
It is. Yeah.
They're doing it.
So it's incredibly annoying. What we've done as a business was basically, I remember I was in Newcastle when that was announced, and we'd heard the rumours. We had a couple of people call up the office and say, I want to put my order on hold until we know what we're doing. I said, so if you just tell people at the moment, we'll pick it up. So most people do 10,000 miles a year, £300. We'll pick it up while they've got a contract from us. I don't know how long we're going to do that for.
It's not going to stay at 3p forever. Well, now they've planted the seed.
You're going to call me an eternal optimist here, but for some reason I seem to think the government might U-turn on it. but which I know would be very, very odd. But I could see
they're good at that.
I could see them U-turning on it. The consultation's still going on, so we'll see what happens. It will cost me a lot of money if I see it through. But
are we paying it now?
No, 2028.
Right. Okay.
So they've got plenty of time to change their mind.
Yeah.
And plenty of time to actually work out. But if you are, no matter how simple they're going to make it, how much money are they actually going to make on this? By the time they've put in the infrastructure and everything else,
But the congestion charges amaze me. I didn't know they were charging that with.
I think for congestion now, for us in a non-electric car to drive into London, I think we have to pay something like £25.
Oh, I mistakenly took an MR2 up there, didn't I? And I hadn't registered it.
Oh God!
Yeah.
I did it twice. I did it with both MR2s. Yeah, that was a bad week. I went up a road that I thought was fine, and it was only for buses once as well, didn't I? I got about 300 quid.
Birmingham's the best for that. But the amount of times I got fines from Birmingham because they're digging it up all the time.
Yeah.
And every time I dig it up, they just change the bus priorities. Obviously, the council's a bit short of money, so I'm not saying they're deliberately doing this, but it's not going to hurt the coffers, is it? It's not getting rid of the bins any quicker, but it's not going to hurt the coffers.
We're getting a lot of box junction fines now as well.
Oh, yeah, in Medway.
Yeah, box junction fines, yeah.
I got told off. They were like, right, you are literally like...
Because you don't enter a box junction intending to stop, but something can happen in front of you. I've entered one and some cars pulled out on me and taken that space. And you're the one with the fine when someone's just pulled out and taken it.
And to be fair, that's another pro but con of new cars, so regardless of how they're fueled. The fact that now, I was in one the other day which we had on demo. It's a BYD, I think, so a Chinese car.
What do you think of those?
I actually thought the BYD was really good.
Right.
I didn't want to like it. I didn't expect to like it. It was a cracking car.
Looks nice.
And obviously BYD, well, all the German brands, sorry, the Chinese brands.
I'm just Googling it because I don't know what you're talking about. BYD, did you say?
BYD, yeah. Look for BYD Seal. All the Chinese brands, they were investing in all this stuff 20 years ago and we were just moaning about it. So that kind of second industrial revolution of solar, electric cars, all that type of stuff, they were well ahead of it. And we're still trying to play catch up and we're still really just bleating about it, aren't we, what manufacturers are, rather than actually getting on it and thinking, what's the opportunity here? Which is really frustrating. But
that's very nice, actually. That's very sleek.
It's like a better looking Tesla.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And a better drive Tesla. It's still a little bit rough. The Tesla's a little bit rough. It's still a little bit rough, but generally.
What's it like on mileage on those?
I think I was getting 280 to Newcastle and back.
Because Teslas are probably the best for my length, aren't they? About 400 you can get with a decent one.
Teslas in summer are pretty good. In winter, they're abysmal.
Oh, really?
They just can't cope. Yeah, we just can't cope. I don't
Have
feel.
they not thought, talking of the summer, have they not thought about putting solar panels to charge the car?
There's a couple of things. And solar panels get, believe me not, if you put your hand on it, you could burn your hand.
I remember years ago, my wife's Leaf, it's hilarious, she had a solar panel on the bumper.
Oh, right.
Sorry, bumper, on the spoiler on the back.
Yeah.
So, and it made absolutely no difference whatsoever.
It won't do enough. It won't do enough.
Right, okay.
I think we went down to Cornwall years ago. I remember when the kids were little, went to Hendra campsite in Newquay.
Right.
Because if you had an electric car, you used to eat for free.
Oh.
Did meals, restaurant free. And we took that there and we left it there for about 3 days. I think it added 1 mile, this solar panel. And it was actually nice. It was really sunny, but yeah.
1 mile.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there might be future fuels. Didn't they manage to put a laser on a seed and when it blew up it produced 3 times more power than they used?
Seen that, no?
Yeah.
Really
They've worked out a way of creating something with more energy than they put into creating it.
Oh. So the explosion itself created more energy.
More energy than the actual
Interesting.
It's amazing. I think the big change which could come around things like this is, so for example, I tow a horse trailer. Once you put something on the back of a vehicle, your range is literally halved. So that's fine for my horse trailer because literally I just drive my girls to local places where we go just jump and hopefully don't fall off and they're 10, 15 miles away. But we couldn't go to seaside or something like that. Don't ask why I don't take horses to seaside, just,
I know, I've got friends that do. And
it's because you want to do the donkey rides, isn't it? Charge people.
That would
your
be
way
good,
of getting money back, isn't it?
I mean, I'll never recoup my money, but hey. But yeah, you think like for that, or for people who want to take caravans and stuff like this, could you not have an ancillary battery in the trailer or in the roof of a trailer or something like that.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And then obviously you're hooking it up. It's only going to be trickle, so you wouldn't be able to take it through fast. But you'd imagine you could use that. Just have some additional little boost, especially in obviously, haulage could be applications there. But at the moment, batteries are all under the rigid unit. You can't really use trailers because they can't have batteries underneath.
Cybertruck hasn't come out yet, has it? Or has it?
I don't think so. But there are other electric trucks which
have you experienced the cyber? Sorry, no, am I getting it wrong?
Oh, sorry, no.
The Cybertruck is correct.
The Cybertruck has come out. Yes, sorry.
I mean the lorry. I mean the lorry as well.
I was thinking of the lorry as well.
Have you experienced the Cybertruck?
I haven't.
We have.
Okay.
That was the one in Texas.
Well, we've seen many in Texas.
Yeah.
And we stayed at a hotel that basically handed them the keys. So what's it called when you do that?
Oh, like
concierge.
Yeah. And I said, "What do you think of the Cybertruck?" He said, "It's terrible." It's terrible. He said, "They just rattle around after a while.
Really,
the turning circle on them is not great.
And they look vile, don't they?
Oh,
they look very strange. You know why they look like that, though, don't you? Because the metal is so tough that they can't bend it.
Bloody hell.
They can't bend it.
It is right that they're bulletproof, isn't it?
Yes, they're bulletproof, yeah.
Let's not test that. Yeah. After the glass one, because when they launched it, Elon stood up and broke the glass, didn't he, by doing a routine check or something?
Right. Yeah.
But the alternative to that, really interesting one in America, which I would love if it came over here, is the Rivian. And Rivian have got, they were a startup 3 years ago. They seem to have just run out of money or something, but they're still kind of going. But they have a big 4x4, which you can only imagine it's 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Right.
And it's going to have American.
Google it again. So look at it. Right, what was it?
The Rivian R1T, I think it is. They've got two, right? They've got a big 4x4 and they've got a pickup truck.
Okay.
And the big 4x4 will do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It will tow 7 ton.
Oh, that's quite nice. That one.
That's the pickup. There's a normal 4x4 as well. I'll probably give you a name for it. But the downside of it, so American cars can't corner anyway. They can't steer. So you're heading towards something at 2.5 seconds, 0 to 60. Can you imagine? But that one, the inner camper stroke redneck in me loves that because it's actually got behind the cab, it's got a pull-out electric grill.
How wicked.
So you can just go to the countryside, go anywhere.
Waste the battery and then you can't get home.
But you're stuck.
But you've had a big meal.
Yes.
So you had some great hot food.
Yeah, that's true, That's true. Right, brilliant.
What sort of technology are you looking forward to now? Is there any technology that's coming out that excites you in this industry?
Oh, crikey. This is a really difficult question because obviously we've already established I'm a tech phobe when it comes to things like the Teslas and stuff like this and all the innovative stuff. I think it doesn't necessarily excite me, but the thing that keeps me thinking is what will our children do for cars? So I was quite surprised that my daughter was so into the additional features because the Tesla, as an example, you get a Tesla, you've got very limited options. You can maybe have one set of alloys. You can have self-drive, you can pay £5,000 for self-drive that you can't use. There's not a great deal of options, whereas the cars we normally have, you've got a huge list of options, haven't you? And I was quite surprised how she was so intrigued about all the different options she could have and things like that, which kind of reassured me that our kids aren't going to be as clinical as maybe we think they're going to be. Mm-hmm. But the other thing is, again, will they even have cars?
Yeah.
Or they'll literally just open their phone, press a button, the car arrives, possibly for them to drive, possibly not to drive. My own view on that is kind of when we get on the motorway, cars will drive themselves.
Yeah.
Up to the motorway. I think there's so many variables and so many risks which a car can't really judge. But I think we'll still be in control. But I think certainly by the time, maybe the next 10 years, we'll get to a point where you drive onto the motorway, you drive under a barrier, you're asked to activate automatic mode, and you join basically a train, effectively.
Yeah.
Well, it's like iRobot, isn't it? Do you remember the scene in iRobot?
Yeah.
Where the cars, there's no junction. There's T junctions, but there's no stop signs because they all know where each other is.
And then
I think the only issue you got with that, if someone like me turns up with an MR2, those cars would have to tell each other there's a manned car.
Yeah.
So they would have to be cautious around me.
They'd all drive really slowly behind you and then in a huff just zip out and just push you, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing. They'd have to detect if there's a man
flashing a series of zeros and ones.
Yeah, basically.
But the iRobot's a good example because the flip side is, obviously what happens when a car has to, you're in a situation where you've got to hit something, unfortunately, because you can't stop in time. And do you hit the kid? Do you hit the 70-year-old lady? You know, and as humans, we'll always be forgiven for using our best judgment. But the second a piece of tech makes the wrong decision, people will never ever forgive it.
No, of course.
So, you know, you kind of think, will it ever be automated driving? Will that ever be a thing off motorways where it's not a sterile environment? You've got kids running out with balls, you've got deers running out potentially, you've got all those kind of things going on, and just stupid pedestrians.
I've always
sometimes
said they need to, it's a bit like gas. I think they need to put something in the car itself to make a noise, because I think they're so quiet nowadays.
They do make a sort of noise, but like your dad one sounds like an organ playing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes, as it reverses. But I think nowadays the generation is so used to having earpods on and not really looking. I mean, yes, you could get that with a car, but I mean, you know, a car is loud.
Look what happens when we were just at the side of the road and those cars went past.
Yeah.
I was just at the corner of the road looking to see what road we were going to walk down, and this unmanned car went, oh, hello, there's a person
literally
just at the
did
edge.
The tiniest little...
Did the tiny... It knew I was... And it was like, I'm just going to move a bit left just in case that idiot walks out.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, it was very good. Even like when we stepped up to the curb because we thought this is our car, it stopped, didn't it? And then we had to almost step back for it to then come to the curb to pick us up. So, it does that. It does nothing.
Yes, I'm not sure excited is the right word for my attitude to that technology. But obviously you have to be aware, because I've got a company in this marketplace, and also a general interest for kind of my kids, I guess, and just what their future's going to be like.
And it's city driving, and it's America, which is grid line, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they can drive within 5 kilometres, wouldn't it, Rach?
Yeah, something like that. 5
kilometres. They're not allowed out of the city.
But then you do see
we talk to the Uber drivers; they're not bothered by them.
Yeah,
you know, they do what they've got to do. They have a few issues, but they're not really. But
you do see like someone driving it sometimes. You're like, that's clearly broken.
Let's be honest. A taxi driver wants a job that's a good 5-10 miles. Then they don't just want to take me a couple of blocks. Jobs, and they're ideal for that.
Yeah,
they're ideal for a couple of blocks. Right, brilliant. So. Should we ask him some of those questions out the cut? These are just personal questions now. You pick a couple. Which we didn't do with the Pride in Medway lads. Yes, we did.
Because they were really intrigued. Like, what is this cup full of things? And we were like, oh.
If you had to survive a zombie apocalypse, who would you want by your side? I would want a lad that works for me, so this is a really timely question, called Dan.
Right.
So we went last Friday, or Friday before, we went to a VR place for a team build.
Yeah.
I say team build, one of the games was in a kitchen, cooking burgers. And we were supposed to just all work together and take a different station. We were not like McDonald's. We literally were throwing burgers at each other and just, and squirting each other with
clever
ketchup
though, the old VRs, aren't they? Very clever.
Well, this was VR. It was VR on a zombie apocalypse. And it was really good. It was so weird because actually the floor was completely flat, but you were going up the outside of the buildings on ledges and stuff. And one of the girls in our group, the guy who was supervising had to hold her hand as she was going up, because obviously she wasn't going up, but it just felt like it. But Dan scored 120,000 to kill the boss at the end. I scored 70,000.
So absolutely
Dan, it's Dan. Unique, but fair enough. Answer to that, Dan.
I'm so sorry to his wife. She's been left at home.
Well done, Dan.
A zombie.
And stay with us if there's a zombie.
And plus zombies eat brains, so Dan's not going to trouble them with that. So.
Oh, that's all right. And, little dig at the end there, Dan.
That was a bit like a shit's house, wasn't it?
Very nice, yeah.
If your last text message was printed on a T-shirt, what would it say?
Oh, how weird. We were going to try and get that out of you beforehand, weren't we?
It says something really boring, I think. It was basically, I coached a girls' football team, and we were at training last night, and we were talking about things this morning. And I think it's something like about the kit for Saturday's game. It's literally that boring.
Oh, right, okay.
So, sorry. That's all right. Something really exciting.
What football team do you support? Or don't you?
I support Manchester United. I'm more rugby man. But I was born in the Midlands. I was overlooking Walsall Stadium.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the council high rise. And
Walsall, one of the oldest clubs. Am I right in saying that?
I don't know.
Walsall, one of the oldest clubs around, I think. I might be wrong there.
I remember I used to watch them. So our flat overlooked the grounds. On Saturdays, I used to go to the roof.
Yeah.
And I could watch half of football. I say half because Walsall weren't very good. So they were always in their own half. I think we're doing okay at the moment.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But then I used to get palmed off to family in Charlton. And they used to take me to go and see Man United back when Liverpool were the team winning everything.
Right, yeah.
So I'm not a glory
80s.
hunter. Yeah. So I'm not a glory hunter. But yeah, I've kind of. Are you into football?
Charlton Athletic. Okay. So no.
And your son?
Sorry?
Your son?
Oh,
He's
the kids all Charlton. Yeah.
Oh, good. How'd you do that?
Just said to him, you're going to Charlton.
So my son,
I've got a 30-year-old son, and when Charlton lose, he's like, "Why did you make me?"
well, my son, for the first 5 years of his life, he's 13 now. I would only let him watch Match of the Day when United have won. So not very often in those days.
Yeah.
And first time he went to junior
Lee
school,
Sharp days, wasn't it?
Lee Sharp days, obviously all Fergie's lots. So the class of 99.
Yeah.
And I remember, so I remember when he first went to junior school, coming home and saying, Dad, all my friends telling me that Man United are expletive, excrement. And it was like, no, mate, you've got to look back. And he's like, I wasn't even born then. Well, I
say that. I say, Charlton have won the FA Cup, Ryan. He's like, 1947 now. Everyone else was at war when Charlton won it.
So it's Manchester United for football, and I took him on stadium tour before he started going to school. He's done all that stuff. We're at the FA Cup about 3 weeks ago where we got knocked out by Brighton, so we go up there quite often still. Yeah,
it's good because once you get them hooked with a little bit of atmosphere, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Regardless,
I mean, proper love is rugby. So we're going to the Island match in a couple of weeks at Twickenham, and I used to play rugby years ago. So
it's only really grammar schools down here that play rugby. I played one game of rugby at school. Yeah. One game. That was it.
Well, I was too fat for football really, and didn't really have the skill. I was this height when I was 12, and this wide there, but not this wide there. And my head of PE. I say head of PE. It was a comp. So typical comp. But the head of PE was captain of Handsworth Rugby Club.
Oh, okay.
So he kind of got me into rugby, and it's just something which I think is really, like kickboxing for your son, it's something which is really, really good to teach kids discipline.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
My first game, I remember I kind of gave the referee some lip and got marched back 10 metres.
Well, I don't know why they don't do that in football.
No, absolutely.
It would take 2 weeks for all the referees to go, right, this is... Just walk into the locker room before a match. Imagine it's rugby now, boys, because every time you can mouth me, you're going off.
Yeah.
In fact,
and it lasts 2 weeks, and then they're like, we've got to change. We've got to change.
In fact, it's quite funny, because I coach girls' football, and sometimes I do call referees sir in the girls' football, and the referee looks more shocked than everybody else does when I actually do it. But
I would hate to do that, the referee job.
I've taken up baseball, and the umpires allow you to have one rant.
And then
finished? Yeah. Off you go. Off you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can have the rank can go on for as long as you want, and then they're
going at each other. They're swearing at refs swear back. No, I did this. I didn't do it. He's like, I saw it this way. I saw it this way. What can I say? This is what it was. You're crap. You've been making bad calls all day. Yeah. Well, finished. Yeah. See you later. And they know they've got to go after.
Yeah.
They know. They know they've just got one rant and then they're out of it.
That's it.
Oh. Lovely having you on. Lovely to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. And thank you for responding to one of our podcasts, which is quite nice, isn't it?
Do you want to tell everyone how they can find you? Internet, phone numbers, everything like that?
Yeah, so www.fleetevolution.com. Very easy to say, obviously. And I'm Andrew Leech, LinkedIn, all those kind of channels. So you can find me. There are a few Andrew Leeches, but not loads. LEECH, so slightly different spelling. For mine. And if you just want some advice about electric cars, even if it's not a sales tax scheme,
do me a favour, say it into that one, because that camera is messed up again. Okay. So I don't know what's going on over there.
So www.fleetevolution.com is the company, or just Google Fleet Evolution. And I'm Andrew Leech. So any advice you need on electric cars, even if it's not particularly about our scheme, but just need some generic advice, it's perfect scheme or perfect cars for 40% of us, kind of, but for 60% of us, but for 40% of us, it's not the right time to go. So I'll just give you honest advice if I can. Thank you very much for having me.
Brilliant. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you so
Thanks for having us on.
on our own
On your
podcast.
podcast. Anyway, thanks everyone. Take care. I don't know what's going on.
Club Awesome, for autistic children and their families, a place where everyone belongs and fun knows no age limit.
Today's sponsors are
Need stunning video or photography for your big day or even your business? Cherrywood Production delivers award-winning results with a personal touch. From weddings to promotional content, we turn your vision into reality. Visit cherrywoodpro.com today. Your memories, our passion. Put your business in front of 30,000 new customers with the Hindsight Directory. This A5 full-colour magazine is delivered by Royal Mail to Maidstone, Gravesend, Medway and Bromley, with more areas to come. Visit hindsightdirectory.co.uk. This podcast has been brought to you by Snugdubs Campervan Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.